Today we have a very interesting class. Although it's one of the first ones in those terms, I think we have something similar last semester, because it's very important to know your speed. It would be like the rate of speed that you have for translation. That is one thing you need to know for certain activities that we are going to have in the rest of the semester. And the other thing that you need to know, is basically your style, okay? So two different things. We are going to cover today not only a translation, but a translation to have the rate of speed in terms of translation, the personal one, and also the style. Now, by experience, I know that students are pretty, how to say, competitive, right? So I'm going to ask you a question for someone to answer what I have to say. Do you think it's a requirement for a good translator to have a fast rate of speed in terms of translation? Let's say the number of words that she or he can translate in 1 hour, for example. It's important to be very fast. What do you think? Any idea? Do you think it's a requisite for a translator to be very fast as translator? Many words per hour? You know that this is a good field for your opinion, right? It doesn't matter if it's different from one each other.
Professor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my case, if it was me that I was going to hire someone, let's say, for me, it wouldn't be like the most important, but it would be a plus.
Mm-hmm. This can be a plus. Somebody else thinks that is a plus. For example, in a job or when you are practicing the profession of translation. What do you think? Is good or bad to have a high rate of translation, a high rate of words per hour?
Professor,
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
well, um,
Nice to see
as
you.
it's nice to see you too, Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that as Alejandra is not like a requirement, but it would be like a kind of plus, as she said, because if a translator is fast, he would be able to finish on time and handle more work without making mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Any else in the side of the high rate of words on translation? Tell me, Jimena, are you going to talk?
Yeah, but my opinion is like the same as my classmates because people tend to think that the fastest, the better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if a translator is doing some work, if they did like in the half of the time, I mean, it will be better, right? Because you can do more translations.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, is here in this group someone who can tell me that if to have a lower rate on translation can be benefit for something? Has any advantage a translator that let's say a translator that let's say that cover half of the word of a fast translator. Has that an advantage at all? One at least?
Professor, is it okay if I also reply if I think that it would be like a kind of advantage to be fast, but I also think that there is something good on being less faster or something like that.
Just tell me.
Because I also think that, well, if you are fast, you are going to be able to finish on time and stuff, but also if you are like if you're less fast, you have more time to check the words and make sure that the translations are correct and clear. So you have more time to do research and all the procedures necessary in order to make sure that all the work that you did was properly developed.
Exactly. So we have another opinion. Let's see. Marco, do you think the same?
Yes, Professor, I agree with Austin. And even if you do it like slower, you're going to be more careful. But also, I think that uh, translators can charge customers not only by the time that they spend doing translations, but they can charge like by the whole project.
Okay.
Without taking into account like the time spent in the project.
Very good. You can see that now some ideas are going around, right? Not only sometimes in Costa Rica, the tendency is about thinking that a translator must be fast, right? But let me tell you something. Last week, I don't know if I mentioned that in the minds of the people, usually the character of a translator is a person that is sat in front of a screen, right? Writing and writing and writing, and that's all, with some internet and with a printer next to it, but that's all. And that's not true. As we covered last semester, I don't know if you remember or if you checked your notes. Now, work of translators is like it's not exactly a teamwork as traditionally seen teamwork, but the idea is that we are we are isolated, not all the time, right? Sometimes we need to work with another people. And nowadays, the projects that are for translators are usually or interdisciplinary groups, or if the groups are made of only translators, each translator is going to cover a different task. So you can guess if I tell you that they not only need to do the work, right? But also they need to cover certain characteristics each one of the project that they are accomplishing. So for example, let's see. So Natalie, if you are going to choose a group to work in a project and you need to cover lots of material in few time, you will choose a fast translation or a slower a fast translator or a slower translator. Natalie, can you hear me? See, let's give some time to Natalie. Let's see. I'm going to ask Braylon. Braylon, if you have a huge project and you need a person that covers lots of material in few time, you will hire a fast translator or a slower translator? Braylon, can you hear me?
Sorry,
Mhm.
teacher. What did you say? I
Okay,
wasn't hearing pretty well.
okay. You
Sorry.
have a project. You have a project of translation. You need to cover lots of materials in few time. So you are going to hire a fast translator or a slower translator.
I would say firstly that it depends on the date of handling, but normally I would choose, I don't know, maybe for confidence. If I don't know the translator pretty well, I would say that it's a better job. Somebody that does it like slower.
Fast, slower, sure.
Yep.
Okay,
For me,
and in,
more confident.
and in case of if you are going to provide the edition of the material, with what kind of member of the group do you need? A fast translator or a slower translator?
The edition, did you say?
You say if you need edition.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
in that case, I would say fast translator.
Fast translator. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Raylan. Someone will have the same selection for the group. Someone is going to will do a different decision, make a different decision. Let's say to place the faster for the material and the slower for the edition.
Yeah, that
In
could
my
be a good
personal
option.
case,
So
that would be the best way to go, yeah.
Okay, Elkin and Jason, right? Said that.
Yeah, that it could be a good option if, like, if you get to hire two translators and one is faster than the other, maybe you can use the faster just to find like the information and once and like begin like writing, and then the other one can check what the faster one did and at the end have like something together.
Exactly. So depending of your interests, depending of your objectives, depending of the material you are working with, you are going to select partners to work with. And usually it's a good idea to choose each member by his or her strengths, right? According to how that person works. Now, what I'm telling you this, because I'm a slow translator. I'm not that fast. But sometimes with terminology, I have a good sense of research. So usually in the teamwork, I'm the person who looks for the difficult words. And also I'm good at addition, right? So what I'm telling you this, because sometimes students, when I have this lesson, they have like the fear of not being enough fast, let's say, of being slower, right, than the rest of the group. Please, when we start with the test that we are going to have today for the rate of speed, please be yourselves, right? Try not to do something that you are not. If you can cover more or less words, it's not going to define your ability to translate. That what that means is that you can have different roles among the work that you have to do on translation. Got it, guys? So please, I don't want competition or you say, oh, Naomi, how many words do you have? I have more. Ha ha ha. No, no, no. Nothing like that. Okay? Because each one is going to rate the speed personally. And in that way, you are going to know the capacity of work that you have. So only we are missing a little piece of the puzzle. Okay? So do you think that a person can accept a work on translation based only in the rate of speech that this person has? Or is there any other aspect to take into consideration? What do you think?
Maybe like the difficulty of the
The
of the
difficulty?
task. Like for example, if I had to translate something related to medicine, it has a weird vocabulary and it's going to take more time.
Also, let's say, Alejandra, are you there?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. Let me tell you that I'm your client right now. And I need a translation of 200 words. That in pages is not that much, but I say, as this is very short, I need it for tomorrow. You can accept quickly, or you need to consider certain things before accepting my offer of job. What do you think?
I would first, I think I would accept if it is depending on the content,
The content?
because even though if 200 words are not that much, but depending on the content, it could require a lot of research, as you mentioned before.
Perfect. We need to know at least what kind of material is that, what is the topic about, for what kind of audience, what kind of format do you need? Exactly. But we are missing something, okay? Let me check. Elkin.
Yes, Professor.
Hello. Let me tell you, at the moment, I'm your client, right? And I'm telling you, Elkin.
Yes, sure.
I need a translation. It's 2,000 words, okay? But I know it's your field. So when can you have that translation ready?
Well, I think that it depends, like, because, well, in my case, before I begin like the translation you asked me for, I have to look for information, and maybe it could be like a week or 1 or 2 weeks if you want like a really good translation in my case.
But there is the risk that you can lose the client, right? If you say so.
Yeah, that's why, like, you have to know, like, maybe to my client, uh it would be like a good option to know if like the day or the last date that I have, like, to have it ready, so I can see if I can handle it or not.
Exactly. We are closer of the thing that we are missing. Okay. Let's see. Imagine, for example, that Professor needs that translation, let's say 2,000 words, okay? And the client is asking how many, or how long it's going to take to have that translation ready. It's kind of abstract in your mind. This lesson that we have today of writing the speed is because sometimes we are or very aggressive accepting offers, right? In a professional translator environment, sometimes they say, I have this work, and you say yes, because you need it, right?
Yeah, I think that well, for us that we are like beginners, we are not like aware of how many words we can like write in some time. So maybe like if we get like to know like what are our capabilities, maybe like we can like say like yes, a week or 3 days.
Like Marco says, in the heat of the moment, right? We say yes, and then 2 days later, they offer us a something else, and we say yes, and everything we say yes, and at the end of the time, right? You have 3 translations to do, and you have another work that you are covering in a part-time, let's say, and you have to take care of a cousin, and you have to, that is a baby, and you have to help your mother with the laundry, right, and everything, and you accept a quantity of work that you cannot handle, right? Because it's not only a matter of speed, it's a matter of, who can tell me? Besides the speed,
Professionalism.
something else.
I don't know, maybe quality.
Something else.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. Let me check if I have the answer.
Excuse.
Don't have it. But how can I tell? So if I visit 2 translators, 2 professional translators, they have the same speed for translation, the same rate, but they provide me different quotes. Let's say quotes are, no, accuracy, no. They provide different prices and different deadlines. Why is that if they have the same speed of translation? Why is that one translator is going to provide me is going to charge me, let's say, $20, and the other is going to charge me 15 if they have the same rate of speech, the same speed for translation, excuse me? What will be the key that makes the difference?
Well, if I think that if the yeah, experience and like preparation.
Something else that is stronger.
The technique.
No. I need a cookie right now to have a surprise for you to guess the answer. Okay. Another clue, but this one is very evident, okay? So it's enough to know how many words you can have for translation one day, 2 days, 3 days, on what is exactly, okay, how can I say, I just want to give you a good clue, but let me check. So, okay, so Naomi,
Yes.
what happened? What happened if I give you a work at an urgency translation right now of 500 or 5,000 words? Would you tell me that you can do this or no? And what is exactly what you have in mind when I say I need it today?
Oh, I would say no.
No? Why?
Because I think it's too much pressure for me and it's not gonna be the best work for myself.
And
Yeah.
if I say click, 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 click.
No.
Time, guys, time available. Jason, are you going to say that?
Yeah, well, I would say the same thing as Naomi. Maybe I couldn't achieve that goal, so I could say no because of, well, of course I have time against me, and also if you want to be professional and have a little bit of integrity or something like that, you should be realistic
Exactly.
with yourself and acknowledge that you will not able to be, well, to create a proper job or to be like proud of that role, well, that job, because it won't be like the best of what you can give, right?
Exactly, guys. So you need time and availability of time. Let's say you got it. If I have a lower rate of translation, but I have too many days and hours available to translate my projects, it's going to be very good, right? Because I have more time available. You can be excellent. You can be experienced. You can be a very good translator, but if you don't have time in your week to translate, you cannot accept the works, right? Because you are full of activities and you have no idea of how much you can cover in just 1 week or 3 days. So, got it, guys? So the time that you have available, let's see, it's not the same. If I ask you for a translation on Wednesday, let's say that today is Monday, right? And I in charge Marco a translation for Wednesday. And Marco has to work on Tuesday. So Marco cannot count with that time. Instead of that, if I send the same information to Juliet and Juliet has not to work and have all the day available for the translation, it's going to be different to Marco because it's going to charge another rate, another quotation because, quote, because Juliet has more time, independently if they are faster or no, right? So now I want you to think about your current time available. Let's say, so I'm going to do the example with Tiffany. Tiffany.
Yes, Professor.
Let's imagine that you have a work from a client on translation for next Monday, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now I need you to tell me if you can do 3,000 words for Monday. So you can say, but Professor, how is that I'm going to know how many words I can have for Monday? You can have them. Just need to be conscious of the time available and your rate of speech. So of speed. So, Tiffany, how many hours do you have available today for that translation?
If we are talking in real life, well, I would say like I have like 2 hours maybe or 3
Okay, 2 hours.
because I like to sleep.
You need it. You are a human being,
Yeah.
right? Okay, 2 hours because you have my class. So, what are you going to do tomorrow? You have time available for translation?
Yes, I will have like the entire morning to do that.
The entire morning. We are talking about how many hours?
Like 5 hours maybe.
5 hours. Okay, so far we have 7. Okay. And during the weekend, you translate under the weekend? On the weekend?
Well, maybe I could have like, I don't know, maybe 10 hours per day, like between, well, Saturday and Sunday, I will have like 10 hours per day, I would say.
Like 27, let's say.
Exactly.
Okay, 27. So let's not count the Monday because it's the day of the deadline, right? Okay. So now you have the time, right? If you know, let's say if your rate to translate is 1,000 words per day or will be per hour, okay? What would you do if you have on one side the hours that you have available and the other side the deadline that you have? What are you going to do to know if you can reach the deadline? You already know that you have 27 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I don't know exactly what I can do.
No, you don't know. You
No.
need to know how many words you translate per hour, right?
Okay.
To multiply time for rate of speech. Speed.
Oh, okay.
In that way, you are going to provide a real deadline.
Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah.
What happens if you just say yes? Yes, I accept.
Maybe I can fail doing that.
Or imagine if something happens, right? And you leave the whole translation for the weekend, let's say. And that weekend you have a ceremony or something or a problem of health in a person of your family or something that is not going to allow you to translate, right? For the commitment. So imagine on Monday to tell the customer that you were not able to translate the whole work, right? It will be terrible, right? Because it's for that person, probably that person needs it for that day.
Yeah. Yes, it will be a disaster.
And we need to be responsible and to provide real deadlines. And if you already have a job, you need to rest, say, okay, I have 27 hours minus the hours that I'm using in another project. If you are working 2 projects at the same time, and if you want to accomplish both deadlines, right?
Yes.
Now, you understand how important it is to know those things, guys? Did you realize? Thumbs up if you got it. Alejandra got it. Noelia, Elvi, Iger, Christopher. Okay, Alejandra. Felix? Very good. Just as a general conclusion, right? As a final summary. So you need to take into account to work as a professional translator, the available time that you have for translation and your rate of speed of number of words per hour, let's say, before you accept something. Otherwise, guys, just because that happens with the people that has not this clear. Imagine, for example, they work 5,000, let's say, 5,000 words. So you distribute the work in different days, right? So imagine what is to accept the work and to realize that it's technique and that you cannot finish in the time that you have. So you start with the things like, okay, I'm not going to sleep today because I need to finish this work. Okay, I'm not going with the family today because I need to fulfill this deadline. Okay, is that I'm not going to have the activity that I have planned many months ago because I have to finish this work. So it's a responsible way of working to know the rate of speed and the availability. Very, very important, especially if you are going to dedicate only time for translation, right? Because even though I asked Tiffany this very fast, right? Sometimes remember that she said 10 hours, right, in the weekend. To translate 10 hours during the weekend is pretty hard. So you need to know yourselves, to know if you can get it, okay? Because it's not that easy. Sometimes we have hours available, but sometimes our brain needs a break, right, of 1 hour or something like that to walk around the house or something to refresh your mind. Because remember also that you cannot finish your translation in the very, very beginning of the time, right? Because you need to provide addition, revision, grammar, punctuation, all those things. So this is a complete I would say detailed task, this of being translators. Okay, so let me tell you what we are going to do. Okay, it's 5:46. Having in mind what I've just mentioned, we are going to check your translation speed, your translation speed, and your style. And for that, we are going to open the virtual environment. And you are going to open this archive that says practice to discover your speed, rate, and style. Find it? And this is well known for you because actually is gestión empresarial, okay? The translation that we are going to do today is of 1 hour. And I'm going to record the hour that we are going to use, okay? I'm going to register the time. So guys, we are going to cover this specific material that is closely related to the major where you are. Now, when I mention the hour is out, okay, or the finished, you are going to stop. You are not going to write any other translation, even here or at home. The time that you got here, the number of words you got here is the one that we are going to use, okay? And you are going to make a note with the number of words you could translate. I really recommend you, if you have your own computers, to use Word, because Word counts the number of words. If you use free software, try to get the mark that says how many words has the translation. In that way, you are going to provide a translation from Spanish into English in 1 hour, and you are going to count the words. Now, there is something in the instructions. Let me show you. Okay. Okay. Take a look at this. Directions. This activity is for the first hour of class. Okay, we are not having the first hour of class, but we are having in the beginning, okay? You are giving a text, gestión empresarial, en qué consiste y cómo optimizarlo. During the first half hour of the activity, translate the text as regularly in a Word document. All of you, I think, got that. But pay attention to what we are going to do during the second half. It says second half of the hour, start to write in English about the same topic using your own words. Save both texts on the same page and load the document in the system. Basically, this is for terms of you have available the rate and for you to lose it. I want to have it in the system because we are going to use this for the request of a client, for the fictitious client activity at the end of the course. So we need to have this stored. Got it, guys? So first half hour, you are going to translate the text as usual. But during the second half hour, you are going to have a free writing about gestión empresarial in English of what you already know so far. Why? Because the first part is going to tell me your speed to translate, and the second part is going to tell me your style. So, if you are not ready to translate yet, I can provide like 7 minutes for you to have some water, if you want to bring a coffee, or if you want one snack to join you for the first half hour of translation. And for the second half hour, basically you are going to write freely about management, okay, and in general. You got the instructions, guys?
Yes, Professor.
It's pretty clear. You need to do it very honestly, right? Because as I mentioned, I don't want to check the number of words or the speed rate of ChatGPT, right? It has no sense. ChatGPT has its own rate. I don't want to have it. I want to have yours. Don't worry if it's not very fast. Don't worry if it's short. Basically, is a characteristic, is our characteristic in the group. Tell me, Hime.
Professor, could you repeat the instructions again?
Okay. We're going to have 1 hour of activity. The first half hour, we are going to translate as usual the text that is in Mediación Virtual, right? The other half hour, we are going to write freely about gestión empresarial, okay? In a way that you have 1 full hour of your own production. With the half of translation, we are going to check your speed. With the other half, we are going to check your style. Got it? Better now?
Yep, Professor. Clear as the water.
Clear as water. Perfect.
Professor?
Tell me.
I have a question. And when we finish, we have to upload the translation somewhere?
In the system,
Okay.
but it's not for a grade, right?
Okay.
It's just to have a storage because we are going to use those numbers in the future.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Professor.
Yes?
The part that we need to write is about the
same topic.
The same topic about our knowledge or of the text that we translate.
Actually, it's about as far as you are related that to gestión empresarial, you can write of your own experience, or you can write of something that you have learned, it doesn't matter. It's just that the style is going to measure things, for example, as the length of your sentences, the compound sentences that you have in a paragraph, all those things. So I need you to write freely to know how you write.
Professor?
Okay.
Tell me, Kendry.
All of this has to be in English, the part that we are writing.
All that we have basically is into English because that is the purpose, right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So guys, go for a glass of water, go for a soda, for something to eat if you need it. I can play music if you want. Something instrumental, not like the one that... Where is Trigueros? It's not here. I looked for the sun and it was censored. Oh, so if you, I can have some instrumental music just for you to relax a little bit, but it's very important to cover exactly half hour. So you went for your glass of water, you went for your juice already? Are you ready? I'm going to be here, don't worry. And the topic is a piece of candy for you. So, thumbs up, the ones that are ready to start. Alejandra, who else? Noelia? Tania, tell me. Ah, okay. Okay, Michelle, Sofia. The rest of you are looking for a Kime is ready? Or is that you have a question? Okay, so it's 2 minutes. Remember to do it in a document that you can handle, right? Not something very difficult. If you have Word, Office, perfect. If you have free software, try to use a very easy notebook or something, okay? Try not to complicate yourself with the program. The important thing is the translation. Okay? Ready? I'm about to place the time remaining, okay? Okay. I have the timer in my picture, in my photo thing here in Zoom, so you can follow the time. Remember to check the text first. Take a look at the main ideas and everything, okay? And imagine that you are right now in a professional task that was assigned by a client. Muchachos, vamos por la mitad del tiempo. ¿Cómo les va?
Profe, ¿qué pasa si apenas voy por la primera parte?
No importa. Nada más, recuerda contar bien cuántas palabras son al final de la media hora. No hay problema si es mucho o poco. Es la tasa de velocidad. ¿Todo van bien? Bueno, aquí estoy, ¿verdad? No se les olvide si tienen alguna pregunta. Yo sé que está sonando Ennio Morricone, que tiene una música de película muy interesante, pero aquí estoy, a la par de Ennio.
Professor? I have a doubt. Professor, can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Profe, you are mute.
Now, can you hear me?
Professor, now we need to write the text with our own words, or we continue with the translation. I am confused.
In 10 minutes or in 11 minutes. You can check
We need to write the text.
Not right now. You continue translating
Okay.
up to the time is up.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'm going to let you know when is that you are going to start with your own style, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Muchachos, estamos en los últimos 4 minutos de la actividad. En 4 minutos pasamos a redactar con su propio estilo. Yo les aviso. Bien, muchachos, vamos por el último minuto ya para cerrar la traducción. A ver, Fernando se logró conectar. Fernando.
Buenas, profe.
Ah, bueno, sí lograste conectarte. Que te vi en la sala de espera. ¿Cómo estás, Fernando?
Professor,
Ajá.
sorry, we uploaded the translations
Ajá.
in Mediaset.
Sí, exactamente ya. Vamos a cerrar el... Ahora, muchachos, lo que vamos a hacer es que van a poner un espacio en la página y van a empezar a escribir libre. A veces media hora es mucho, pero es que necesitamos un poquito de carnita para sacar cuántas características tienen. Entonces, empiecen ahora ya a no traducir y a escribir en inglés con sus propias palabras sobre gestión empresarial y yo les aviso cuando nos detenemos, ¿ok?
A lo que uno sepa era, ¿verdad, profe?
Sí, conocimientos de ustedes, si quieren contar una experiencia. Lo importante es que escriban como escriben ustedes. Creo que 30 es mucho, tal vez unos 20 minutos escribiendo sus ideas en inglés. Igual sigan el tema. Ujú. Cambiar aquí. Vamos a ver. ¿Cómo van hasta ahora? ¿Han logrado escribir con sus propias palabras?
Profe, no te voy a mentir, la verdad está bien difícil y tengo mi mente en blanco.
Cuesta, ¿verdad? No es tan fácil. Ujú.
Sí,
Ok,
Sí, profe, yo apenas llevo como 2 oraciones.
dos
sí
oraciones.
soy, sí soy.
Ok, hagamos una cosa.
Profe,
Ajá.
bueno, es que no sé si estoy haciéndolo bien, pero yo inicié como relacionando este tema como a la carrera, como comenzar explicando que este tema va relacionado a la carrera, que es la carrera que estoy estudiando. Entonces, no sé si está bien como explicarlo de una manera en modo de historia.
Está bien. Lo importante es que lo escriban ustedes, por ejemplo, que yo no sea la que les ponga el texto. Lo importante es que salga de ustedes, porque de ahí vamos a sacar el estilo de cada uno. Entonces, voy a hacer una cosa. Voy a detener el timer y de lo que han escrito, traten por lo menos de hacer un párrafo coherente, digamos, que no sean oraciones sueltas, sino que estén relacionadas. Un parrafito como de cuánto puede ser, 5 o 6 oraciones, está bien, pero que sean de ustedes, que ustedes las hayan hecho, así a como hablan ustedes, a como escriben ustedes, ¿de acuerdo? Porque eso es lo importante. No le copien a otro compañero, no lo copien de un texto de internet, sino que háganlo ustedes, un parrafito. Yo les voy a dar tiempo, ¿ok? Si sienten que les es más fácil en historia, lo hacen contando como una historia. Si sienten que lo hacen mejor, si enumeran, si dicen características, como les quede más fácil. Lo importante en esta práctica es que quede reflejado cómo escriben ustedes personalmente. Yo sé que ahora es mucho de, a veces, de los ejercicios que les ponemos los profesores, pero sí hay que escribir ustedes para que noten si ustedes hacen oraciones cortas, si ustedes hacen oraciones largas, cómo escriben ustedes, ¿de acuerdo? Los demás chicos, ¿cómo van? Christopher, Natalie, Sofía, ¿cómo van?
Profe, yo llevo
Bien.
como dos párrafos, pero
Ah, está
la
bien.
verdad está rarillo lo que expliqué, la verdad.
Bueno, no importa. Guárdalo por ahí, ya casi lo revisamos.
Profe, estoy dándolo todo.
George, son mis muchachos, ustedes, sí, yo lo sé. Y por aquí vamos a ver, Edwin, ¿cómo vas? Ariana,
Un par de párrafos, profe, ya.
muy bien. Ok. Devani, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo le ha ido con las prácticas?
Profe, yo voy lento pero seguro.
Muy bien, está bien. Ahí vamos. Jason, Jason, ¿cómo te va?
¿Se escucha, profe?
Sí,
Ok, ok. De ahí voy, profe, como una tortuga lento, pero ahí llegando a la meta.
Ok, y la parte de escribir vos, ¿cómo vas?
Ah, bueno, sí, la parte ya de la traducción, pues sí me detuve cuando me dijiste que lo hiciera.
Ah, bueno,
Y
ok.
ahorita sí, la parte de escribir con mis propias palabras, pues vamos como una tortuga renca, pues más lento, pero ahí intento llegar a la meta.
Una tortuga renca. Ay, Jason. Ay, bueno, bueno, pero ahí vas. Lo importante es que vas. Dicen que la tortuga le ganó a la liebre.
Sí, sí, sí. Ahí vamos a ver cómo nos va.
Vamos a ver. Esta práctica es como muy característica de la segunda clase, pero es muy necesaria.
Professor, I'm blocked.
¿You are blocked?
Yeah, because
Oh.
well, the translations
Mhm.
I maybe it's good because I can
Mhm.
advance. I could advance
Mhm.
very well, but explain that topic with my personal opinion and my
Uh-huh.
personal words. It's so hard.
And is there any part of the major that you like the most, that you want to develop a little bit in a paragraph?
I don't know. I'm blocked.
Oh, don't worry. Leave it like that. We are going to have a break soon, okay? Don't worry.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Iger, ¿cómo va? Sofía, Tania, ¿cómo van?
Ya, yo creo que bien, profe. Ahí
Bien.
más o menos.
Al menos un poquito de carnita para aplicar el concepto de estilo.
Sí.
Ah, bueno. Yo sé que esta parte es cansadita. Eh, lo dejaron todo registrado, ¿verdad? Para que no se les pierda, para que no se les borre. Muy bien. Nada más, si los que lo hicieron con Word o los que tienen la posibilidad de conteo de palabras con un segmento, apunten por ahí cuántas palabritas hicieron en inglés de content, ¿verdad? Content words. O sea, las que marca el contador. Creo que hay unas que no las marca que son como interjecciones, creo. Entonces, de las que marca el Word de content, pongan en una esquinita cuántas le salieron esa media hora.
Profe,
Ujú.
¿lo hacemos ya?
Sí,
Paramos.
porque ujú,
Ah, ok.
ujú. Sobre todo ya paramos y tenemos un parrafito ahí más o menos con el que trabajar. Y de la traducción, la media hora de la traducción, cuenten las palabras que les cuenta Word o el sistema que estén usando. Me avisan cuando lo tienen.
Profe,
Ujú.
it doesn't matter if in the second half I only did like a small paragraph.
Doesn't matter. It's okay.
Ah, bueno, porque ya
Ujú.
no sabía qué decir.
Sí, eso cuesta.
Definamos pequeño, porque yo tengo 3 líneas.
Bueno, no se preocupe, Mónica. Ahí vamos poco a poco.
And
Okay.
Professor, where
Ajá.
do I upload the work? Because I didn't find any in mediation.
Ah, let me check. Let me check.
And I have the same problem. I have in the second part a very little tiny paragraph.
Don't worry for the quantity. Let's check for the quality. Oh, that sounds good, right?
And I have a problem because I made the two parts in the same document of Word, and it's so difficult to identify the quantity of the words because I don't have that. I don't have a computer to look the quantity of the words, Professor.
Don't worry.
I'm working with my cell phone right now.
Don't worry. If
Okay.
you can do it this number of words at home. I just want you to have the quantity of words that you translate in half an hour to multiply per 2. And you are going to have your average per hour.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Professor, excuse me.
Yes.
My internet right now was really bad, so I was hearing you like really badly. So can you explain to me again? I already finished, but what again?
Okay.
What I need to do?
Don't worry. Just one moment because I'm preparing the place where you are going to load this. Just one moment, please.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Mhm. Okay, let me check. Mhm. Okay, let's see. You can refresh mediación virtual. And you can check the new activity that is entregue aquí su trabajo. And now I'm going to explain the instructions again. Okay, basically, if you are already finished, I need you to count or to use Word to count how many words you translate in half an hour. And you need to multiply by 2. In that way, you are going to have the rate of speed, let's say, of the rate of hours per hour, of words per hour, words per hour. Oh my God. What happened was the last semester when I have a tongue twister at the top of my top of my tongue. Okay. Number of words translated, multiply by 2. You are going to have how many words you translate in an hour. Got it? Because the text that I give you is general. Let's say it's about administration, let's say, but it's a article for everybody to read, right? This is general text. This is a general text. So if you translate for half an hour and you multiply by 2, you are going to have the average of that you the words that you translate in 1 hour. Why is this important? Because with that and your time available at home, you can notice what kind of words you can accept on a regular basis. Let's say you are not going to take more works than the ones that you can, or you are not going to take less. Yeah, you are going to have an average. So someone wants to share the numbers that you get. So somebody wants to share how
Well,
many hours?
my case in the first 30 minutes, I got 208 words.
Okay, and you multiply
And
by 2.
multiply by 2. That is, why is that for?
Because 208 is for
Yeah.
just half an hour, right?
Oh, yeah. And for for the other, I did 261 words.
Oh, no, but we are going to take into account only the translation. The other part is for style.
Okay, just the translation.
So if you got, let me do it here in my,
In my case, in the
For
first,
16.
let's say, 208 per 2, 408, 16, right?
Yeah, for 16.
So that means that your average of translation is 416
Words per
words
hour.
per hour.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So if you want to know how much you can do in one day, you just need to multiply this for the hours that you have available to translate. And you are going to understand, and you can tell your client, yes, I can take this work because I have time to do it. Got it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Who else was asking? I hear another voice there.
yes, it was me. I just want to share that in the first part I had 408.
Okay, and you multiply by 2.
Yes, that's the result, the final
Oh,
result.
perfect. So keep that in mind. Actually, we have a tool to record this, but by now I think you are very exhausted for the task. So guys, I'm going to give you a 20-minute break, okay, in case that you need to have something to eat or that you need some time to refresh or something. So we are going to have a break of 20 minutes, okay? And we are going to come back to check the other part, that is style. But we have a nice video. So for you to rest a little bit, we are going to have a break of 20 minutes. It's okay with you? I think it's enough time for a coffee or for a juice and something else, right? In case that you need to eat something for the night. And I come back at 7:20. Ready, guys? And in the virtual environment, there is a little hand to load your document, the one that you did today, for you don't to forget to fill it up. So see you in 20 minutes, okay?
Okay, miss.
Who's there? Are you there, guys?
Yes.
Eso, Kendry. Very good. Okay, Michelle. Who else is there? Ariana, Catherine, Juliet. So enough time for dinner? Okay, let's see. Guys, by the other part, remember that I usually provide 1 more hour of practice on Thursdays for you. Right now I have a video regarding style to basically open your eyes about style. And what is that in translation is so important because usually the author of the material that we translate needs certain respect on his or her style, right? It's not that we are going to transfer the message with the translation and also transfer the style of the author to our own style, right? That is not actually the idea. The idea is that the translation most of the times is going to sound as the author, right? Not the translator is usually like invisible for the audience. We are in charge only of transmit the ideas. However, it's very common that certain details of style are a part of the things that we do regularly, including translations. So, you think you have your own style to write? You think that if your mother reads another student a paragraph of the one that we did, and yours is going to identify which one is yours? Not by handwriting, by the content? What do you say?
As a partner said, sometimes yes, sometimes no, because I think maybe I I am like I think I have a style, but I think that there are a lot of influences when I write. So maybe I have a little bit uh, of let's say styles from other people that I learned.
Exactly. Very good. Good observation. Actually, sometimes we are not very conscious of this, and translators usually are so used to transfer others' style that we forget about ours. And style can be something simple, can be something complex, has to do with words, but also to arrangement of ideas, many things. Actually, how we learn to write our favorite topics. Actually, if the text that we prefer is descriptive or narrative, or if we like a lot this synthesis, right? Depends on many aspects. Style can be analyzed from many different points of view. I'm not going to say that today you are going to be very detailedly analyze it, but today we are going to have an idea of how is our style, just to be sure to place the correct style in the translation, on the translation, right? Not the wrong one. And I want to show you, is everybody here? So please thumbs up if you are here, just to see if I can play the video. Alejandra, okay. Perfect. Iger, are you there? Okay. Isabella. Elkin, Monica. Okay. I'm going to play the video. Pay attention to the video. And we are going to comment the video at the end of the video that I have here on the system, okay? So pay attention. If you cannot hear or if you need more volume, just let me know. Let's see how it goes.
If someone chooses a button-down shirt and leather shoes, they are showing the world that they mean business. The same Writing style is much like any other type of style, in that it helps us express who we are. It is how the writer chooses to express herself through writing. A little vague, right? Well, let's look at personal style for comparison. Each person has their own personal fashion style, whether they mean to or not. The clothes and accessories that we choose to wear each day can define personal style. If someone throws on a t-shirt and jeans with some old flip-flops, they are expressing a casual and laid-back style. On the other hand, if someone chooses a button-down shirt and leather shoes, they are showing the world that they mean business. The same goes for writing. So, should we start wearing leather shoes while we write? It could make it interesting, but no, that's not the point. Just like clothes, writing can express a specific style. There are four main types of writing: expository, persuasive, descriptive, and narrative, and each one has a specific style. Expository writing is a general category that includes all types of essays, with the exception of persuasive essays. The main purpose of expository writing is to explain a concept or idea while including details for support. Such writing is usually based on a subject and therefore requires facts, not opinions, for examples and supportive detail. This type of writing is generally used in textbooks or how-to articles and essays. As such, these essays and articles follow an organized and logical sequence. An expository style of writing is more formal and straightforward, so the casual language or slang that you would use with friends is not acceptable. Unlike jeans and a t-shirt, this writing is more dressed up. Slightly similar to expository writing, persuasive writing is usually found in article and essay form. It also relies on specific details and examples for support. However, in a persuasive piece, the writer is often expressing an opinion and trying to persuade the audience to do something or to agree with the writer's point of view. It must be clear and concise, but it can also be a bit more forceful and dramatic to help convince the reader. For example, sometimes writers will exaggerate their details to affect the reader in a more emotional way than in an expository essay. Fiction and poetry are filled with descriptive language, since the purpose is not to inform, but to entertain. Someone may read this type of writing to enjoy the beauty of the language and writing itself. Therefore, this style tends to use more adjectives and adverbs, as well as figurative language and imagery, to create detail that allows the reader to envision the scenery and events in their minds. Like
Okay. That's it so far. I need like examples just to check different styles in your own writings. If there is someone that as a volunteer wants to share its piece of writing for us to do a analysis.
I can do it, but I don't know if I have some mistakes.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Let's just We want to
let's...
share the screen?
Yes, I can do it.
Okay. Just a moment, because I need to say that is for all participants. Okay. Okay, done.
Can you see?
Not yet. I think it's in. Okay.
Can you see now?
I can see.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The title is Business Management. I don't know what else. You may know what is it, but have you ever heard about the career of English and business management training? Well, that's the career that I'm studying. As the name says, we learn a lot about business management, but in English. In case you don't know about what is it, business management is the process of planning, organizing, and controlling a company. So in that way, we can understand and achieve the objectives that the company has. That the business has. That's an interesting topic because you have the opportunity of learning how the companies work and develop.
Very good. Okay. So, Kendry, in your own words, did you discover what kind of a style you have according to the ones that we saw in the video?
I don't know, maybe I would say persuasive, but I'm not sure because most of the time I am sharing information.
And what was that? Descriptive, right?
Yeah, descriptive.
Descriptive. So you have the tendency when you write by your own, to be descriptive. And that is very important. How is that you know that? You can take a look at the kind of words that you are using in your paragraph, right? They describe what is business management and provide certain characteristics, yes? Planning, organizing, controlling, those are descriptions. And descriptions of the career. And description of why the name, right? But actually, probably in the rest of your writing, if you continue writing, probably you are going to start to be a little bit more persuasive of following the topic that you are developing, right?
Yes.
Probably you are going to have the tendency to say others that the career in business management training is a good career or a good major to study, because that is the way how it goes, right?
Yes.
So very interesting. So Kendry, when you want to know if you are including your own style on the translation, check for the descriptions, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
if you are doing that so much, probably you can hide the style of the author. So you need to control the balance between the style of the author and your own style.
Okay.
Got it. Perfect.
Got it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you so much for sharing, Kendry. Any other volunteer? It doesn't matter if it's a short paragraph.
I can, Professor.
Juliet, perfect.
Can you see my
You want to read it?
Okay. When you think about business management, many points come to mind. However, if you organize them, you can reduce them to organization, knowledge of finance, accounting, and marketing. These points are essential to building a competitive company, firm, or small business. Your mind is the key, because organization begins in your mind. Additionally, the knowledge you acquire in the areas of finance and accountability will be crucial for building a solid foundation for your company. This is because money is always the driving force behind starting a project.
Very good. So Juliet, I have my own opinion, but any of your partners want to analyze the style of Juliet? What do you think? Is this descriptive? Is this persuasive? Is this what other one was?
I will say that persuasive.
Persuasive. Okay, you say persuasive, Monica?
Yes.
I can see some ideas that are kind of descriptive, right? But if we compare with the first one, the persuasive aspect is stronger in Juliet, right? You have the same idea? I think this is more persuasive than descriptive, and Candice was more descriptive than persuasive. It's like a combination. What do you think? Is everybody agree, or you have your own opinion? You're very silent after dinner. What do you think of this one? Who else is agree that this is persuasive?
I do agree that it's persuasive.
Right, but it's in a certain way it tries to have a positive idea about the topic, right? That business management is good, business management is appropriate, all is in your mind. It's like convincing, right? Like convincing someone. Perfect. So you have a more predominant um, persuasive style in your writing.
Okay, Professor.
Thank you so much. Perfect.
Thank you.
Somebody else that wants to analyze the style that you have in your paragraphs?
I would like to.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Just give me a moment. I guess you can see it right now.
Let's see.
I already had an idea. So,
okay, let's see. You want to read your own?
Okay. Business management is not solely responsible for the exterior aspects of the company, but also internal processes such as the management of the personnel, the financial and administrative aspects, the marketing of the products, and the sales and income of the company. Some of these internal processes are neglected by the small companies as there are not enough employees who could check in these factors. That is why it is important to understand that business management is not a one-man duty, but a group effort in the making.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. I can see the difference between the three of you. And what kind of style do you think we just heard?
Well, I had an idea when we were seeing the video that it was kind of expository, mostly, but I also tend to notice that it has some aspects sometimes that is persuasive or no, it's probably my idea, but I will see.
You know what I can see?
What?
Let me check just one moment. What I can see is a little bit of an article of a magazine.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a little bit what they say in the video that is an argument. That is usually seen in as I say, in articles or in essays, or where you need to have a format that is pretty formal. By the way, in formal, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not exactly a persuasion. It's more like an introduction. I can say that this is perfectly the introduction for a business magazine, an article in a business magazine. So you have the tendency to be argumentative. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
You know that before?
Well, kind of, because I'm really too like used to do a lot of these types of work because I mostly do them.
It's like a very scientific way to write. Interesting. The three of you have different styles. Can you notice what it says the video? That the video says that even the clothing we wear is part of our style, right? We need to differentiate our writing from the rest of the writings according to the experience that we have had and how we learn, how is our point of view of our life and everything. So even if you are not sharing your piece of paragraph here with us, take a look at home, right? And check what kind of words you use regularly. If you write lots of descriptions, if you have strong ideas, if you are very analytical, if you are very descriptive, because it sometimes is important to know not only to translate others' style, but also to understand what is mine. So if I give you an instruction of not disturbing the style of the author, and in this case, let's say she just keeps like an argumentative paragraph, and the original one was more free and more, let's say, descriptive or something. So we probably are failing if the work that we were in charge is to keep the style of the author. If the author allow us to have something different, that is another story, right? If the author is if the author agrees on your changes or your suggestion, is a different story. But let me tell you that most of the time it's difficult not to include your own style there and there and there and there in the translation. Got it? Thank you so much. Okay. Any other of you? Anyone who wants to share the paragraph? Or you can share with us what can you find right now in your paragraphs that makes you understand that you have a descriptive style or an argumentative style or a persuasive one. Did you find something interesting in your own style?
Professor,
Mm-hmm.
what if I don't know?
What if you don't know? We can help you a little bit. You want to share your paragraph?
It's because I had it on my phone. I don't know if I can.
Okay.
I'm going to try.
Let me check. If you want to read it to us.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. Okay.
Okay. It was, well, this was the title. And this is.
Let's see. Running your own business nowadays may for some people be something easy due to plenty of tools we can find on internet to help us. For others, it might actually be a lot more challenging than it used to be. Being able to make your entrepreneurship to arise among all of this competitiveness and bright ideas that people come out with nowadays is no easy work. That's why here you will find an easy guide with the key to advice for you most. Never omit when running your own business. Identify people's needs. If you are an entrepreneur already, it's because you might have already understood this step. You were able to identify a necessity people around you had, and you were able to come out with a certain product or service to fulfill that need. Okay. You know, for me, your writing style is very descriptive to me. Because actually you I can see there the beginning of an enumeration, right? And that means that you like to compare and describe characteristics. I don't know if any other of you has a different idea. In my opinion, this is very descriptive. That will be the kind of writing style that I will ask. Any other has another idea?
Thank you, Professor. I thought it was persuasive or the first one, but no, I
Uh-huh.
was
Is
wrong.
that when you use a lot of words to describe, persuasive usually is stronger, right? It's like really it's notice that you are convincing another person that this is the right way, right? And usually it's stronger in terms of words, right? Usually, if you use more words to describe something and you have the tendency to enumerate, tends more to descriptive. But remember, guys, that usually descriptive and persuasive paragraphs sometimes are both in one essay, for example, or in one writing. So some paragraphs have more descriptions, some paragraphs have more arguments. Well, probably you have both, only that the first part reflects the descriptive part of you, Alejandra.
Yeah, I see. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anyone else that wants to share?
I would like to share mine.
Okay, Elkie. Oh, okay. So for me, business management has become the main topic in my life. Before this major, I was sure to try and study something related with teaching. I was into history and still am. But in case I got into this major without expectations and with a little English knowledge. Once studying in the courses, I got to be able to learn proper business vocabulary. I improved significantly my English level because this major requires people that want to be successful in life, and that is why I kind of like this major. It might seem as an easy major, but every year the professors try to explore all the student capacities without teaching teaching that life is not easy and the business life is wild. It's a place where as much as experience you have gotten, the better. Where you have to step forward knowing that you might fall trying. This major teaches you how to work hand by hand with the partners and prepares you to work with people that you are not expecting to. In the business management, there is no room for an introverted person. In order to success, you have to talk properly and without fear when doing business. Nowadays, business and English are the most important things to have online. As a 21-year-old student, I can tell that having knowledge regarding business, such as digital marketing, accounting, knowing how to speak in business environment and important laws when doing business will help everyone when looking for a job position. Interesting, right? And let me tell you, Elkin, what do you think is what is the style that you have in mind right now? You have, Elkin, your own opinion of your style.
It's like descriptive, I guess.
Yes, between descriptive and narrative. Because
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
it's like a combination. Because you use this to tell your story, right?
Yeah.
Your story of how you start. So that means that you like to add your personal experience in what you write. Interesting, right?
Yes, Professor.
So when you are including yourself in a piece of writing that is from other person, you need to be very careful of not like changing the style to yours. Because now you are conscious that you like to have narrative in your writing, right?
Yeah.
So, interesting, very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing.
Welcome.
Did you know that you have that style, Elkin?
Well, I was thinking while I was writing that, I was thinking that, well, almost every time that I'm like translating something, I tend to like add words like that describe something.
So I think you like my God. Explicitation. You like the strategy of explicitation, I guess.
Yeah, that might be the one.
So it's for you to have a balance, right? Between what you read, what you translate, and what you think. Very careful with that. I would think now that you know your style, it's better to identify your style in what you are doing. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for the examples. By the way, guys, we are almost finishing with the part of practice, but let me tell you that here, volumen, Okay, that was not the one. On the virtual environment, you can check that this is a little answer this questionnaire based on your speed exercise. If you open this link, you are going to find some questions like how many words you translate in 1 hour? What about the days that you have free during the week? It's like a little summary of the activity that we had today. The part of style is the one that we just did. But please, before the midnight, try to answer this questionnaire just to provide the information that you learned today and for me to know that you received this class. Did you find this questionnaire on the system?
Yes.
So the idea is we are going to finish here, but for the rest of the time that you have for work at home, you can fill out the questionnaire. And that's it. I'm not going to leave you homework by now, probably next week. But if you fill out the questionnaire, it's more than enough for me to know that you understand the things that we checked today. So guys, any other question? Something that you haven't get from this lesson? Did you like the lesson? Did you learn? Now you know the quantity of words that you can translate in 1 week, in 1 day, in 1 hour. So in the future, when we got a real work of translation for us as professional translators, you are going to do a good job saying the client when you can have the document ready and how much time do you have, and in the future how much it's going to cost. Because money is money. Okay, so ready to rest a little bit?
Professor, I have a question. I don't know if you already said it, but the document has to be in PDF or Word.
Either is okay.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Only place your name on it, on the subject matter, just to know that you did it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're
Good
very
night.
welcome. Good night, guys. If you have questions, remember that I'm available in the email. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have learned a lot from today. And please remember to fill out the questionnaire just to be sure that you understand the topics. Thank you for your kindness. I'm going to rest a little bit and to take another pill for not feeling that everything is going to spinning around me. And I hope to be better next week. But good luck with the rest of the courses, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank
Good
you.
night, Professor. Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night.
Bye.
Take care.
Good night.
I hope you get
Take
better.
care, Professor. I hope you get better.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye
Have a great
bye,
weekend.
guys.
Bye,
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Professor.
I hope you get
Bye
better.
bye.
Remember to drink water, it's so important.
I probably I was a little bit dehydrated, right?
Oh, okay. Good night, Professor.
Good night. Have a wonderful day.